special session of the Mayor and Council of the City of Bisbee, County of Cochise, and State of Arizona. To be held on Tuesday, February 12, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. at the Bisbee Senior Center, 300 Collins Road, Bisbee, Arizona. Ms. Coronado, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Dave Lindstrom. Councilmember Joni Giacomino. Here. Councilmember Bill Higgins.
Here.
Mayor David M. Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Leslie Johns. Here. Councilmember Joan Hanson.
Here.
Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Anna Klein. Here. City Staff Robert Smith, City Manager. Ashley Coronado, City Clerk. Daniel Duchan, Personnel Director. Albert Ichaga, Police Chief. George Castillo, Fire Chief.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you everybody for being here. This is being recorded. Is this being live streamed? No, not yet. But it is being recorded. Are we good? All right. Item number 1, the following items to be discussed and were considered. Item number 1, discussion of possible approval of an updated visitor center tourism and marketing manager job classification. Mr. Duchan.
Mayor and Council, I have an updated job description for the tourism and marketing manager position here, and with a couple options. Adopt this and also withdraw the visitor center manager description. So we have 2 options. You can keep the visitor center job description on as well. I created this after having a conversation with Jen Marie about what she was actually doing, not the position title. Other than that, I haven't had input from anybody else. So I put on to say public input or council input. So if there's changes desired, please let me know. I can make anything that you like.
I believe there will be some input tonight for a fact. So it's my understanding that we have several ways to go in this. One is to keep this tourism and marketing, the title is tourism and marketing manager, and have a separate job as the visitor center person.
That is one option. Previously, some job descriptions we have created a new one and deleted the old one off the books.
Yes.
So that's just an option the council has. If they don't want a visitor center manager, they can include deletion of the old one, or they can create a new job, so you can still have a visitor center manager and 2 of them.
Thank you. Does the council have any questions again? Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any questions again? Yeah. Okay. Mr. Duchan, why don't you? I think we'll see you. We've got some people signed up to speak. Mr. Fred Miller.
My name is Fred Miller of the 39 the Warren District. I really do appreciate it that the special session is being held, because it's a recognition to me and many other people that have worked in tourism for a long time by the council of the importance of tourism to our city. My view, the prime economic engine of Bisbee's consumption economy has been tourism. It has pulled our city out of the Great Depression and has generated job growth for several years. Although Bisbee tourism has expanded and changed, the city's infrastructure has not. Due to several factors, this is a prime opportunity for the council to transform the structure of the city's tourism efforts and bring it up to date. Changing the job description you have tonight, I think it would be more accurate to call the job of tourism director. The job encompasses marketing, employee and volunteer supervision, travel, oversight of two visitor information sites, as well as statistical gathering, social media posting, website monitoring, ad creation, and reporting to the council, as well as escorting visitors around and other sundry tasks. Currently, that work occurs in the context of a visitor center, as noted in the budget. And it would be more realistic to call it the tourism department, because that's actually what it is. It's a name change that, if you would do that, would accurately reflect the activity while allowing for potential expansion. And a job description for the tourism director job, and I do appreciate what Dan has done, I think it should include categories rather than just kind of a recitation of responsibilities. And that would elicit the kind of information that's necessary for the council to make an informed decision about the job, if the council is going to do it, or the city manager, or whoever's going to do it. Some of those categories would be duties, competencies, skills, relationships, and education. And there are broader things that I think the council should consider when discussing this job, including the pay range, which is the subject tonight, one of the subjects, hiking the department advertising budget, and a 2% increase in the bed tax, which would fund the increased salary and budget bump, but not affect the residents of Bisbee. And I just need to say that I have a vested interest in this discussion. Someone who's long been involved in tourism efforts in Bisbee. I do own a business, and I'm an integral part of another business, and both of them are dependent on tourism. So I'm very much interested in how this plays out, and I'm hoping that the council will see their way to kind of update the whole department, the whole approach to tourism. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mr. Miller. Does the council have any questions, Mr. Miller? Kathy Sullivan.
Hello. A couple of comments that I have. Now, he's changed the job description since I sent an email to the council via Ashley yesterday. So I think the salary range needs to be higher. The top end of the salary range is less than the operations manager and the HR manager make. So I think tourism is probably as important as that. And I think we've underestimated its importance. Also, they need to specify more computer skills. They should have some graphics capabilities. They should be able to update the website, and there's nothing like that in there. And we can make a big mistake and hire somebody who needs their own graphic design. Also, the Queen Mine Tour Visitor Center and the Visitor Information Center, I truly believe they should be combined. I think we should pull out of Queen Mine, rent a larger building downtown, move Brenda Morales into that building, and let her basically manage the visitor center so the tourism manager can manage tourism and marketing. Right now we're wasting bodies because we're in two places. The Bisbee budget includes $1 million in sales and bed tax and $1 million in property tax. Tourism-related businesses are paying this, and they're also paying property tax on their buildings for rent so that the owner can pay property tax. So if you start looking at all the little outreach things that happen with a merchant, we cover a lot of ground. And if we lose our tourism budget, our downtown's going to be a ghost town. We also employ a large percentage of our population in restaurants, retail, etc. Over the past 3 years, we've done really well. My business has shown an increase of 10% since 2015, and that's this kind of an increase. It's not just a little tick. If you compare seasonal versus non-seasonal sales, 1 month of a year could be $5,000 and another month could be $15,000. So these are the kinds of things that people are trying to work with as a merchant. If we don't have that $15,000 month, we can't pay the bills in the $5,000 month. frequently, I went through some of the numbers and looked, and I could pick the lowest number of the year and pick the highest number of the year, and there was a 3 times difference. So we're all dealing with a very rocky road, and we really can't afford any hiccups. My non-seasonal months, you probably include at least 25% tourists, if not more. It's a real hard number to manage unless you click everybody who comes in and rate them as a tourist or not a tourist. But currently tourism is our only industry, and if we don't move on this, we're going to really regret it. You're going to see a dead down. We're going to look like some little ghost town. I mean, I wish we had other industry, but we don't. So please, let's move forward. Let's look at the salary, and let's ask ourselves why public works and human resources are so much more important than our only industry.
Thank you. The information that I've received is that the mid-range of salary countrywide for tourism directors, the mid-range is about 52. And presently, the proposed salary range is 39,235 to 58,852. And that's not advocating the position, that's putting the commission. Denise Lowe's.
I'm Denise Lowe's, and I'm from the Warren District. I'm a real estate agent here in Bisbee, and I just want to talk about how important tourism is in the real estate industry. I don't know if y'all know this, but at least 95% of my buyers are coming from other parts of the United States, the Northeast, the Northwest, Upper Midwest, and they started out as tourists. And as years have gone by, they come back, they keep coming back, and now most of them are either getting ready to retire or they have retired and they want to be here. So my business, real estate business, we're bringing in people because of tourism, and they're buying homes here, and they want to stay here. So that's just pretty much what I want to say about tourism affecting our real estate industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stanley Stir.
This is called getting your aid. I'm Stanley Stern, a resident of San Jose and the chairman of the IBISB committee. Over the last 4.5 years serving on the IBISB committee, I've concluded that tourism is the industry of Bisbee. Sometime in the future, there will be a return to Bisbee of mining, but that is probably in the distant future. The position under consideration by the council is really the chief marketing officer of Bisbee. It is the revenue producing position, and if done well, will produce additional sales taxes for the city of Bisbee. Tourism provides a material amount of sales tax revenue to the city. During the tourist season, the sales of revenue for Safeway is increased by approximately 4%. A leading business in the city receives 70% of its sales from tourists. The business employs 47 full-time employees and over 30 part-time employees. It contributes in the high 5 figures to sales tax. We must find an individual who is trained in the state-of-the-art of social media as well as print media. This person must present Bisbee to the travel writers and film industry and draw attention worldwide to our community. We must be really ready to pay a competitive salary to this person. I request members of the business community advise the selecting official on the selection of the individual. This is an important position.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Any questions, Mr. Turner? All right, sir. Appreciate it. Everybody that has spoken is an item of Bisbee or a member of IBISBee. Council, it's open for discussion. I have a suggestion. Go ahead, Mr. Commissioner.
I guess when I was looking at this, I'd kind of like to see either, well, the IBISBee committee get together and put something together for us to approve. Maybe even like an ad hoc committee that creates a job description for us to approve. It's kind of how it worked when they were, on a smaller scale at the library position. They kind of put it together and then it was, viewed and reviewed. So I'd like to see one of those two things happen.
My suggestion was going to be that we ask the IBISBee committee to get together with Mr. Ducharme within the next week, if possible, and to come up with an updated job description and salary range that can be presented next Tuesday at our regular council meeting for discussion of passage. Yes?
Also, is it possible to get merchants in there who are not on IBISBee, if they would like to attend? And one thing that I'd like to address is I would like to address the rumor going around that new council is anti-tourism. And I'm not anti-tourism. And I've heard different estimates, and near as I can tell, I've heard it as high as 50%, I've heard it as low as 30%. But either way, I recognize that tourism is an incredibly important pillar of our economy in Bisbee. What I think sometimes gets overlooked is that without the residents who live in this town, without our service workers, without the people who own the shops, who work in the restaurants, who work in the bars, we wouldn't have a tourism industry. And I'm not piling on tourism at all. I'm just saying that my perspective has always been that taking care of our residents is taking care of our tourists as well. And we can't ignore the fact that the bread and butter of our town also is government jobs. And I'm not saying tourism is not important. I think that we need to get the exact right person for this job. I'm just trying to clarify because I think I've said things in the past that people have interpreted as anti-tourist, and it's not anti-tourist. I just think we need to bring a more balanced view and say that community development as a whole is important. And I don't want this to get interpreted as, oh, I don't want tourists here. No, I think tourists are great. I make friends with them all the time. And I would love to see it increase. I want to see everybody thrive. I just don't want to hear again and again the new council is anti-tourism because that's not my primary priority all the time. I think residents are equally important. So just to clarify that, and I want to make sure that everyone has a voice in this, not just the IBISBee community, but everyone who owns a business downtown should be participating in this, because IBISBee is not representative of the entire community, I think, as we all know. And I think that merchants beyond those should be invited to participate in this process.
I think one of the things that we need to ask for when it does come down to interviewing people is for them to bring a portfolio of their past work so that we can look at what they've done, what their skill level is. I mean, you can take their word for it, you can look at paper and look it on paper, but it would be nice to see what they've done in the past, what's
is making this big. Yes, we do need community development. However, everything that was set up, when we talked about the acres that are occupied by the airport, we talked about different things that could be done, and it always came back to tourism is going to be one of your most important areas, because that's where you're moving. I'm not saying that the rest of it isn't important, but it is a fact that that is where we need the money.
Mr. Higgins, it's not time to adjourn.
My main function here. Yeah, I'd like to see us get this nailed down as soon as possible. I know that the importance of this, and I know the purchase downtown was done, and the idea of having the IVISD committee and Dan sit down and work this out in the next, I guess this week, in the next week. There's other people that there's other people that should be probably included in this, that do have expertise in hiring and are very familiar with job descriptions. There's people that have Wall Street credentials, and I'd like to see, if we're going to do this, I would like to see a few of those people included. I know we can't get this too big, or it will never get done. But I would like to see this nailed down so we can vote on this next Tuesday for sure, and then we can discuss things like other economic drivers. Also at some time. But right now, I feel like we need to get this done, and as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll go back to my suggestion about IVISD and Mr. Duchamp coming up with a meeting, and that any other person in Bisbee, merchant or not, can certainly come and have input to that, but I'm not going to appoint an ad hoc committee because it takes too long. I have to have them fill out applications, I have to bring it to the council for approval, and that goes way past next week's meeting. So my suggestion again is IVISD with input from other merchants and citizens coming to that same meeting.
Absolutely.
Ms. Johnson said, take care of your...
I said that works for me.
Well, I'm sorry, I was looking that way, so I missed you saying that. For all I knew, it was coming from Anna. So. Anna, that's...
Sounds good.
Okay. Does anybody have an issue?
I have a statement. When
Sure.
you speak, I think we need to turn, because I'm having one more time here at the table.
Yeah, well, that's...
So yeah, there's no acoustics, so I can't hear all these
It's tough.
because I can't hear it.
Well, that's what I was saying. Ms. John's right next to me, and I didn't choose one to speak to.
You have a microphone system.
Can people in the back row hear? I was following directions
You guys speak too quietly.
from Ms. Coronado.
They worked very well earlier when you speak.
All right, that's what we will do. Ms. Coronado, do
They put something out
we know when we have no debate yet, Ms. Coronado?
magazine or something.
I can check and find out right now. I don't know if I have a quorum of IVISD. The soonest they could meet is Thursday because we would need 24-hour notification.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if they're available or not.
All right, we'll get it out. We'll blast it out on the email blast that we have for whoever, a lot of people are involved in that.
Sure.
And we'll put it on the website so you can expect it tomorrow.
Yes,
on the
first-
website or an email blast indicating where and when. And everybody will be invited, that it will be an IBISB special meeting.
Right, and I have to make sure I have staff available to cover it as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yeah, we do need staff. This is a really important subject. There's a lot of people here about this. Does anybody, before I move on, and it's a special meeting, so there's a little leeway. Does anybody have a question as to how this is proceeding? On this agenda. Okay, all right, we'll move on to the next agenda item. Discussion of possible acceptance of the resignation and severance terms of Robert Smith as city manager.
I need assistance around this motion. We've got 2 things here that we're voting on, and it's my understanding that we can only vote on one thing at a time in these meetings. It seems like the resignation and the severance should be separate motions.
That's not okay. That's your statement. In fact, his situation is that he has offered to resign under these severance package circumstances. So it is one motion.
Well,
You either, let me finish. It is either, we adjourn to executive session to discuss it, and it is either passed or it's not passed. But that is it isn't that he resigned and wants this. It is that he is offering to resign with that package.
that's not what I want.
That's exactly what his letter of resignation states now.
It said, I request that council accept my resignation, and then it goes on.
Yes.
And as far as I can tell, accept my resignation is a complete sentence. And after that, what he said doesn't matter.
Would that be like the contract for wastewater treatment? The first one is a complete sentence, and anything after that doesn't matter?
That is not germane to this discussion.
Well, it's quite germane.
No, it's not. What's in front of us?
If you would like to make it germane, you might go back and listen to the tape, and you'll hear the vernacular breakout where it was to. Anyway, back to this. The charter doesn't state anything about negotiating a resignation. It says either they're let go with cause or without cause. If he's offering his resignation, then we accept his resignation. You don't barter a resignation. This is a charter city. This is not a non-charter city like the cities he's been at before. You can't mishmash the two. If you go back and you look at that letter, it's trying to mishmash into it our termination. Nobody has publicly said anything about termination except him and you. Nothing was brought out at all. So he's the one that's offering the resignation. There was never any spoken statement saying, all we've ever talked about was performance. And we went back and looked at that, and these were the things that were filed. So I am in agreement with her. I think we should accept the resignation. I'm not in agreement of accepting anything that is trying to negotiate a resignation. You don't negotiate resignations, you resign. And we accept it. And I need to change the motion that we accept his resignation per the charter, nothing more.
You're out of order because that is not on the agenda.
His resignation is.
I need to accept the article of resignation is right there, and Brittany amended a motion on the agenda last week, so I don't understand why we can't do that now.
You've changed motions before.
Let me explain something, Council. You have the majority. You may do as you wish. I am indicating in public that you are on very dangerous ground, and that what you do will bring legal ramifications to this council and to this city With that warning, you will continue and do as you wish.
With that warning, I will also state that with a resignation in any job, when you submit a resignation and it's accepted, that's all it is. There is no negotiation. And if you look at our charter, and if you read the charter and follow the charter, you will see that there is nothing for resignation. There is no bartering, and there is no negotiation. If he's tendering his resignation, I move to accept it. Per the charter, how it states it specifically. And if you read the charter, which I have a copy if you'd like to read it, there's nothing, absolutely nothing about resignation. And again, if you want to push the envelope, this is a charter city. This is nothing more. And if we're going to follow our charter like we should, we don't bargain.
You got my statement, Ms. Jones.
I say,
And-
that's fine.
Okay, then please make a formal motion. Please make your formal motion.
Mayor, can I just say one thing before?
Sure.
Can we please go into executive to discuss?
Well, nobody's asked for it.
Anna, speak into your mic, please.
The order, a motion is made. I'm just asking, can we please go into executive?
Then please make a motion to go into
I
executive
move
session.
we go into executive session to discuss the resignation.
Discussion. All those in favor of going into executive session to discuss the resignation of Robert Smith, signify by stating aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. All right, we have only 5-2, is that correct? All right, we are in executive session. We have a motion to come out of executive session. All those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're out of executive session. Ms. Jackman?
I move to amend my original motion. I agree with that.
Your amendment is?
My amendment to my motion is to accept the offer of resignation of Robert Smith per the charter effective immediately. Second.
Ms. Cornell?
Councilmember Lindstrom.
Aye.
Councilmember Giacomino.
Aye.
Councilmember Higgins.
Aye.
Councilmember Johns.
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson.
Yay.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Nay. Motion passes 5-2. Next item is discussion and possible approval for a temporary city manager search. And I have requested to put together a 3-person council search committee. By that way, we're not violating the open meeting law by having 4 people. And I have requested Mr. Lindstrom, Ms. Giacomino, and Ms. Johns to be the search committee and to then come back to us with their recommendation.
I move to approve the ad hoc committee appointments of Councilors Winston, Giacomino, and Johnson for the purpose of identifying interested and qualified applicants as temporary city managers.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Ms. Coronado?
Councilmember Lindstrom.
Aye.
Councilmember Giacomino.
Aye.
Councilmember Higgins.
Aye.
Councilmember Johns.
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye, motion passes unanimously.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor of adjournment?